What inspired you to create a new adaptation of Winnie-the-Pooh, and what draws you personally to these beloved characters? I have always been a fan of Winnie-the-Pooh. Ever since I was a very small child, my parents read the original two books to me, Winnie-the-Pooh and The House of Pooh Corner. There's obviously many other adaptations of the books, but I always come back to the original A.A. Milne stories. Just for I love the way that they're written. I love the language of them, the way that he toys with, common phrases that adults use, seen through the eyes of a child. I like the characters and their interactions. I think that part of the reason the story has lasted for so long, basically a century now, is on the strength of the characters and their interactions and their relationships, and the fact that, in all of us, there are little aspects of each of the characters. We all have days, we all have periods of our life where we feel more like Piglet, or more like Rabbit, or more like, Kanga and Roo. Like, there's elements of these characters that we can all feel, and there's conversations in these books and misunderstandings and attempts to understand each other that I think we've all gone through at different points in our lives, no matter how old we are. What do you hope young audiences and their grown-ups take away from this particular version of the 100 Acre Wood? The story of Winnie-the-Pooh and Friends touches on a lot of different topics, but I think the thing that it ultimately centers on is the idea of what it means to be a part of a community and what it means to care for the other people in your community. The obvious example of it, the centerpiece of this play, is that when Kanga and Roo come to the forest initially, Rabbit's immediate response is to say, like, well, these people they're not part of our community, they're from outside the forest, we need to make sure that they leave because then everything can go back to normal. And obviously, in the process, he learns to be more welcoming than that. But more than that, it's not just saying, like, oh, it's not just Kang and Roo deserve to be here. It's saying, like, I should trust Christopher Robin for inviting these people in. Like, I should trust him when he says, these are people that deserve to be part of the forest too. And that's difficult sometimes, that it does require opening your mind, changing your perspective, like just, being more welcoming and putting more effort into caring for other people rather than just saying that people can be there as long as they stay in their lane. Like, there's moments of the play where people actively go out of their way to help other people more than just saying, like, well, you can be around. Can you share a moment, character, or scene in this adaptation that you're especially excited for audiences to experience for the first time? Obviously, I think anyone familiar with the Winnie-the-Pooh stories is going to have certain characters that they connect more to, whether that be Winnie-the-Pooh or, Piglet and Eeyore. There's different, we like them all for different reasons. If there's a character in this adaptation that I think is going to surprise people the most, it's probably going to be Kanga. Kanga has gotten a lot of expansion in this adaptation. Kanga has a lot more teeth in this version. She's just she's a stronger character. I think that she's, aside from Rabbit, she probably is the character that drives the plot the most in this version. She's very active in the climax of the piece, and she takes a lot of narrator duties too. I just think that she's expanded so much from what other people might be familiar with, that I think I think that she's going to stand out in this adaptation, not just among the rest of the cast within the play, but I think among other versions of Kanga that you may have seen, including the book. I think that she's I have written a very unique take on this character that, is still rooted in the version of her that's in the book. I haven't tried to go way far afield with it, but it's certainly a deeper and more personal version of the character. And I think that's going to throw people in a good way. I think I think that if there is a character in the adaptation that I want people to be walking out of the theater talking about, it's probably Kanga. And so I look forward to what people have to say about her and the slightly more bold way that she's been written in this adaptation. Again, I'm very thrilled that Talespinner has given me the opportunity to premiere this show in this form with the company. I'm really delighted about the concept for the play, about the puppetry, about the interactions with the audience. I think that this is going to be an absolutely lovely production of this play. I'm very thrilled and honored to be the author of this adaptation of Talespinner's version of the show. One quirk that audiences might not know is that this adaptation was not commissioned by Talespinner. Like, they didn't reach out to me and ask me to do a Winnie-the-Pooh adaptation. I had this play already because I love the books and I really wanted to write a strong adaptation of it. And it was Talespinner that was looking for Winnie-the-Pooh, found mine, and then asked me to, write this slightly abbreviated version of it. And, it's so delightful to find a company that is as passionate about telling the story as I have been, and that is bringing so much love and heart and care to the production of it, what is going to ultimately be the world premiere of this adaptation. That is a real delight, and I cannot ask for better collaborators in bringing the story to life, right on the cusp of its 100th anniversary. So, thank you all at Talespinner, and thank you to the audience if you're coming, for coming and still having interest in seeing the story, a century after it debuted. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the characters in the story, and to everyone who's loved this book for the last years. It's a lovely story, and I'm really delighted to see how it looks.